Hey, I'm Logan DeBoard. I'm from Inez, Texas, and I'm a senior at the University of Texas studying philosophy with minors in chemistry and business foundations. Next fall, I'll be going to medical school, but first I'm going to bike to Alaska. I ride because cancer has so many stories. There's a genetic story, there's a nutritional story, often there's a story about family, about a spiritual story, and I think that encountering these stories and learning from them is such a fantastic way to grow as a person. And that's what I think Texas 4000 is about, just joining a team, a journey, a fight that's so much bigger than us as individuals. And I also ride to honor the stories of the people who I love who've battled cancer. My friend from junior high, a close friend of mine, Corey Quebeca, passed away after battling leukemia, and that's when it really hit me that cancer is an enemy of my friend, and it doesn't care how important you are to someone else, and that's when I discovered that that's why it should be an enemy of me too. I also ride for my grandma, who is a 3-time cancer survivor of 24 years, and she always told me that the reason she survived cancer was so she could see her grandchildren and find out what kind of person she was. So after I got accepted on the team, I got to write a letter to her saying, now it's time you find out what kind of person I am. And finally I ride for my mom, who beat breast cancer after a year. And I've learned from her that after you face cancer, nothing else seems to be a big deal. It's just a minor struggle after cancer, and that's why I ride. So I studied abroad in Australia last spring, and it was my first week there. I was on a train going up to some scenic location, and there was this lady on the train who was an attendant, and she asked me what my wristband stood for. And I told her that I was part of a group of students who are biking across North America to raise money for cancer research, and her eyes just kind of welled up with tears, and she told me that her son had survived brain cancer 3 times, and the day before he had been diagnosed with testicular cancer. And I thought I was on vacation, and there I am embracing this woman that I just met, and that was my first ride dedication that I promised I'd make to her son Luke, who's a school teacher. And that's the moment when I realized that T4K is really what you make of it. I could be completely active even though I was abroad, and when I finally made friends in Sydney, I had this idea to make a benefit dinner, and a bunch of my friends came together, helped me cook, and it was just overwhelming to see the support and that people sharing their stories, their personal why I'm here's halfway across the planet, which is really a special memory for me. So if you're watching this and you came to my dinner, thank you. And that's my favorite memory so far, but I'm sure there'll be many more here in Austin. I used to think that I identified most with knowledge because I know how important it is for researchers and healthcare professionals to be given this kind of support so they can keep developing treatments for cancer and creating new methods of prevention and detection. And as someone who wants to be a member of that community, it's like a really special feeling. But I keep thinking about it, and now I'm gonna say I identify most with charity, because I think even given that, that's the scientist's contribution in the fight against cancer. But if we're gonna start doing better against cancer, we need contributions from everyone. And charity, which is, to me, means giving back based on what you've gotten from other people, is so important in the fight against cancer.